Being on the floor was tough. What did you enjoy the most about being in the sideline with the coaches, Yuri, Caitlin?
Yeah, like sideline when I was hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, we had a great time over there. I think that we caused some ruckus over there, which was needed at times, probably not needed the majority of the time. But I think that's what makes this team so fun is that regardless of what we're going through, if it's injury, if it's personal stuff, that we always are just there for the betterment of the team. And I know you guys have heard us say multiple times, it's standard over feeling, it's we over me, but that's what's made it so fun is because we truly all kind of went 2 feet in with that. And sometimes that's what you need. When you're having a bad day of rehab or you got stuff going on, you just need your teammates to kind of lift you up. And so that's kind of what the bench mob was all about. We had a lot of fun. Of course, all of us hate being injured. Like, it just sucks being able to not do anything to help the team. But how freaking awesome that we got to be front row seats to watching girls that maybe no one knew about coming from overseas, picking up players that took on 5 Olympians, took them over, took them into overtime, and maybe if some calls went the other way, we could be in the finals right now. And so I'm just so proud of our team. It was a hell of a season, and it was quite fun being on the sideline, even though I gave the doctors a heart attack pretty much every time I jumped up and was cheering. So it was good.
Kind of when it comes to getting going, you posted after Game 5.
I knew you were going to say that.
But we're coming for everyone next season. Is it your hope that you stay in Indiana and come back?
I have loved being here, and I don't think that's news to anybody. I think that just being back in the Midwest and being around girls who you truly do love, like I've been in the league for 7 years and I've never been a part of a team like this. And so when you've been through this type of season together, when you're invested in each other's lives outside of basketball, of course you want to come back. I'm definitely going to be entertaining other teams, other offers, but my hope is that I've had a great time here and I'd like to continue that. But I also think with the new CBA, there's a lot on the line. And so I might be blonde, but I can't just not look at other opportunities. I'm going to be good today. I am, because I'm just tired of our league. They need to step up and be better. Our leadership from top to bottom needs to be held accountable. I think that there are a lot of people in the position of powers in the WNBA who they might be really great business people, but they don't know shit about basketball, and that's got to change. I said I was going to be good, and I just messed up. But I do. I think everyone's frustrated when NBA players from that side of things are reaching out to us, just like in awe of how terrible it is. Like, that's saying something. That is absolutely saying something when your counterpart is feeling bad for us because of how we're getting treated. I mean, come on. And that's from leadership. That's from, I'll just leave it there. From our leadership, it's just bad. When fans and players, especially players, when we're competing at the highest level and it's like a battlefield out there, when we're agreeing on the court because of how awful the officials are, like that's saying something. Like, listen to us. We're not going to come for your heads, but I think there is room for improvement to change the criteria when the whole league is asking for it. But when the leadership isn't doing anything about it, why? And so I think there's just frustration. The game's not fun to watch because everyone's just trying to kill each other, because that's how you're going to survive, or otherwise you get injured. I don't know. It just sucks. Our game is changing, and yeah, we want it to be physical, but at the same time, like, you still want to watch good basketball. And when they can't get that under control, it's not fun.
I just wanted to follow up on a question that Alexa asked about, what Fee said, the story involving you specifically, and your popularity as a player obviously skyrocketed when you were in college and you had a lot of NIL opportunities and stuff. So I guess when you heard that, like, what was your reaction? Because it came off a little dismissive to your own brand and like your own individual brand power, I guess.
I think that's probably the way in which the league has probably changed over the course of the last few years. These kids and what they're making in college these days is pretty insane. It's honestly probably more than what I made. Obviously, a lot has changed even since I've graduated, so I'm not 100% up to date on the exact numbers of what college kids are making. But obviously I was very fortunate after my freshman year of college that's when I began working with, different brands and began working with Nike. And, everybody knows my first NIL deal was with Hy-Vee, the greatest grocery chain of all time, based in Des Moines, Iowa, baby. So best chocolate long johns around. But, I think that's the way in which, people, young women are coming into this league now with that type of, I don't even want to say it's money, but they're beginning to build their brands in college, and then they're bringing that to the WNBA. So I think that's just the way in which the league has changed and will continue to evolve. And that's my main point. Like I said, we are in the biggest moment in WNBA history. There's no denying that. Everybody knows that, and everybody that's in a place of power has a true responsibility, and even myself, we have a responsibility to make sure that this game is in a great place going forward with the CBA, and caring for our players, and building this league to make sure it's in a great spot for many years to come. Because you all know I grew up as a huge fan of this league, and I'm going to do everything I can to make this the league that a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old, a girl in college is really proud of to come into, and to be able to put a WNBA uniform on, and that's what they dream of, and then hopefully they can accomplish that goal, because that's exactly who I was, and that's really at the end of the day, I hope that's what my legacy can be, is just how I impacted people to be able to maybe want to be in the WNBA, but to really just achieve whatever they want to achieve. Sorry, I went on a little bit of a tangent there on your question, but yeah, that's all I got for you.
Lexi Hall, and the way that she kind of found her game a little bit offensively there later in the season. I'm curious what you saw from her just in terms of her development and how she adjusted to the way teams defended her.
Yeah, I think Lexi is, obviously, as you guys know, she's one of my good friends, so I don't really have many bad things to say about her. But every team in this league should want a Lexi Hall type of player on their team. That's just, never once have I seen her be disappointed in the amount she played. And I was here at the beginning of last year when she was getting DNPs, and she was the exact same person as she is right now. As probably she turned into our third option offensively, because we lost so many players, but also she embraced that, and she worked for that, and she wanted to be in that moment. And I think she's really flourished, and her game has improved quite a bit. She's always been such a tenacious defender, and obviously you all know she's had some back troubles throughout the end of this playoffs here. And I'm like, Lex, you just play reckless. You're good. I was holding my breath those last few games, but that literally just sums up the type of person she is. She's selfless. She's gonna go out there, she's gonna lay it all on the line for this team. There was never a doubt in her mind if she was ever gonna play a game in the playoffs where she had pain. She was going out there and she was going to play. There was no question, and that really just sums up who she is. And we're really fortunate to have her as a part of our organization, and I hope it's like that for many years to come too.
So Aliyah and then Brad in the room.
Hey, good. There.
Sorry.
I'm French, by the way. The Pacers played in NBA Paris game.
Yeah.
And there is also the NCAA games in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
How much would you like to see a WNBA Paris game?
I would love it. I would love it. I would go anywhere and play. I think that would be, as I said earlier, we're in a moment in time where, the WNBA has never been hotter. There's never been more fans. There's never been more international fans of the game, and that's where you can really grow, is in the international space. And I think the NBA has done a tremendous job of that. And I would love to go play over there. I think it would be really fun. I think it, obviously there's quite a few. Obviously if it's in Paris, there's some great French players on other teams as well that could make it exciting. Obviously the Pacers played Wemby over there, and I know they had an amazing time getting to do that. So I would be very open to that. I think it would be great for the league to, try that out, see how it goes, and I'm pretty positive it would go well, so I would love it.
Last couple as players kept going down, what did ultimately that bench mob become for you? They were constantly feeding into players that could have just sat back, but constantly pouring into you guys throughout the year.
Our bench mob was amazing. They kept the energy going. CC told me with the Black Forces and Brother Black Forces. That was amazing right there. But like, I give credit to our bench mob. They like, without them, I feel like we probably wouldn't be where we at, because they, like you said, they poured so much into us, and we also poured into them as well, and they also kept the energy going for us. And they always make sure that what they see on the floor, and we come up before they tell us, like, this is what we see right here, and this is what you probably need to do next time we on the floor. So I'll give credit to our bench mob, and also the player that was coming off the bench that was always ready for us. So they did a really amazing job.
Natasha, what team or player brought out the absolute best thing out of you this season?
This team, the Fever did, for real. It really brought out the veteran out of me, the leadership, being more vocal, because I've been on multiple teams, but this group right here is completely special. Me just leading this team, they also followed. And that's one thing I didn't have to beg and say it over and over again to my teammates. They listen and they just did what they needed to do when I tell them what to do. So this is the most special team and special group that I've been on.
Jennifer, go ahead.
Hey, Aliyah.
Hi.
If you could say one message to the league about the Fevers going into next season, what would it be?
One message to the league about the Fever?
Going into next season.
Yes.
Be ready. Be ready. I think this year we showed a lot about what we're capable of, and we didn't even have our full squad at full strength, and so that's it. Be ready. Oh my gosh, that's fun.
Free agent, having an off season ahead of you. There's obviously uncertainty across the board, across the league. Have you put any thought into what you think you might wish for 2026 for yourself, whether you'd like to be back or anything along those lines?
I hope we got a league. So I hope that when it's all said and done, we can, have a season period for all the girls. For every person that's, aspirations to be in the league and be in the W. I think for one, that's the start. Being on the same page with that, being on the same page for that in the comments is, making sure we have a league to start. No matter what happens, having a league is kind of big for us. I think individually for me, I'm gonna take my time, figure out what my family needs. Losing a parent is a big shift. And so, I take in consideration how my mom feels now. I take in consideration how my siblings and, my intermediate family. My dad's mom is still alive, my grandmother, and so that's big for me. And so, family is big for me. And so I think talking to them and figuring out what's best for us and for what I need internally is always going to be important. And I think that takes time. But I will say to Indiana Fever, 8 years, it's going to be a lot to talk about because I have so much love and so much aspiration for this place. And I think when the time is right, the great conversations will be had. But Indy is my second family, and everything I've been through the last 8 years. I don't think Indianapolis, Indiana. I don't think there's any other place that was greater for me, the growth and all that. So I think the right conversations will be had, and when it's time, I guess we'll all know.
We're obviously still under contract with the team, but this team, the whole league, there's so much uncertainty with free agents abound. Do you hope that this is that you guys can run back with mostly the same group, even though again so much uncertainty? And how do you, I guess, as one of the certainties of this process, approach an off season with so many question marks?
Yeah, honestly, I definitely would. I think this group was just so special, and you can always think about the what ifs, right? Like, what if half our squad didn't get hurt, or what if we had our point guards, and what if, and so it's really crazy. I think about how far we made it this season with so much that happened, and just imagining what it would have been like with everyone being healthy. And I know our GM and our president is going to do a great job going into this off season. I'm excited to just be a vocal point and just be able to communicate what I'm thinking, how I feel. But honestly, I'm excited for what's to come.